Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today I'm gonna do part 1027 to my Let's Mostly Play of EvoPop that's on my iPad. Now guys, before I get into this video, I need to go ahead and make a real quick announcement video about just something I put on a post. Well, not recently upon a post, but something I actually described in a post. But for y'all guys that didn't decide to read it or whatever, I want to give you guys a little bit of a description. It ain't gonna be that long, but it's gonna be with my last pre-series announcement video and why in the world it got, well, deleted or privated. Let me go and explain, guys. I ain't gonna explain that much. The only thing I want to say here, guys, is the fact that, listen to me when I say this. I know in that previous announcement I had a lot of stuff that I probably should have never talked about on there because there was a lot of personal stuff and just I probably should have discussed all that stuff on YouTube. Here's the thing though, guys. Let me go and say the reason why the video is private is because people told me I should private it because there are people that did, I think, kind of agree with me because I did get 4 likes in that video, but I've also gotten 2 dislikes, so it was almost half and half. Almost. Just because of how many like-dislike ratios I was getting on that. Let me go and explain, though, guys. Listen, I know on that previous announcement I made a lot of personal comments, and I probably should never have made it, but look at it this way. When I'm angry, when I'm upset at something, I need to get it off my chest as quick as possible, or else them feelings will stay with me no matter what I do, and I'll flippin' be seething and angry when I go back to somewhere. That's what happened when I made that. That's what happened before I made that pre-series announcement video. Because that night, you guys saw it. If you watched the porn vids I made that night, you would see how frustrated and angry I was. It probably took about 30 minutes of me being my Pokemon and me going into Winden Stadium to do some battles in order to actually, become happy playing the game because I was still in a bad mood from all the bullcrap that happened that night. What am I going to say, guys? Even after I slept it off and actually did everything, I was still seething. So I need to get off my chest. And unfortunately, at the time that I recorded that video, the only thing I could either do, I couldn't discuss it with anybody because the one person I do have in my life that I could discuss it with wasn't awake. And the only thing I had to turn to was talking to the camera on YouTube. I was thinking about privating it originally, but then I knew that if I flippin' would have privated it, I wouldn't be able to stand listening to it because my own flippin', I get frustrated hearing about my crap. But at the same time, I knew if I published it, I'd probably get some backlash for the stuff that I said. I ain't gonna point out names or things, but I did get a particular comment on that video of somebody telling me well, I ain't gonna go into detail, but let's just say I got a comment on that didn't make me the most happy. But at the same time, I ain't gonna be mean and a bully to someone for them leaving a comment. I try to be as nice to them as possible. And I think most of it has to do with my bad attitude. Guys, listen, let me just go and describe it in a smaller way so you guys will understand, and I won't make a pre-series announcement on it. I'll keep the one I have, but keep it privated. Let me go and say, I may act the way that I do. I may say personal stuff on cases, but that's part of the reason why I never give away names. You don't never hear me say names on here, except for particular people that's not anywhere that's related to me that has ticked me off. A particular name that's come up in a lot of these older videos was a name called Cody. And that was particular in my Pokemon Battle Revolution video, because if you notice me playing the Courtyard Coliseum or the, I think it was like the, Crystal Coliseum, and I saw the name Cody, I would go crazy. Well, you guys know I have a very big heart for Toadal, Crocodile, for Alligator, and if anybody picks on my little buddy boy or girl, I don't care what gender he is, if anybody picks on my little baby boy or girl, I'm gonna be hissed. And that's what the situation with that dude named Cody was about. But when it comes to personal stuff, like just stuff that goes on in my life, I really don't discuss it that much. Except, again, wanting to get it off my chest, like in that instance. That's why there's been an apology video I made months ago talking about why I get angry. But the exact same reason that I get angry is the exact same reason I use for any announcement video or any apology video. Look at it this way, guys. I love animals, especially in games. I know it sounds weird to have like kind of a weird affection thing, sort of thing, towards animals in games, like the Dragon Fence in Castle Crush, or let's say Garchomp or Feraligatr in a Pokemon game. But there's just been certain things that have driven me mentally crazy, and Pokemon especially has been my only release from that anger. Castle Crush with the Dragon Fence would be the exact same thing if it wasn't for people knocking out my fence and dragon. In fact, if it wasn't thanks to that, I honestly would not care about that. I mean, let me go and say, guys, before I got the Dragon Fence, I did say that I wouldn't, if I got the Dragon Fence, I wouldn't care about going down to Castle 1. But now that I've got them, I want to protect them. If I lost a bunch of battles, but my Dragon Fence never went down from them, I wouldn't care if I lost. That's why there's been times where I've won Castle Crush and been like, you mother frickin' bull frick, I swear to frick I want you to do this. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but that's why I freak out 1 minute, and next minute, well, at least in certain videos, I would sit there and be like, okay, I lost, fine. I still turn off the music now by going to the home button, so I don't have to hear the do 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 da do 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 da do do do, because even that's kind of under my skin now. But generally, guys, it just really depends on whether my Dragon Fence is alive or not. If I did a battle and my Dragon Fence lived the entire time and I lost, as long as that Phoenix Dragon lived, I don't care. However, if I did a battle and lost and my Dragon Fence went down, then it just makes me feel guilty. And like I just said a while ago, guys, I have to release that anger. Or it's going to be me doing like I did during that one video where I started hitting the counter after getting angry. That's what would be happening more often if I did not say some of the stuff that I do. That's why I say a lot of nice stuff that I should never say on YouTube. But again, that's also the same reason why I tell you guys about a lot of personal stuff that shouldn't be said on here. If I didn't release my anger in that preseason announcement video, you would still probably see me banging counters and getting angry at the slightest thing. If you guys even pay attention to a little bit of that announcement video, you would notice that what started my anger that night was a simple little scream. That's all that started it. Just a scream. I told you guys I can't take much. I ain't gonna describe any more personal stuff, but let me just go and say, I know I got some backlash for that bullcrap, but if I didn't release my anger that day, you would have seen a lot worse, including a lot nasty that you should never be saying on YouTube. So understand where I'm coming from there, guys. If I make a video talking about some kind of personal stuff, that's why I don't give away names. That's why I never say nobody's name. So, yeah. That way I ain't giving away so much personal information that somebody can just be targeted by somebody for flipping doing that. I say a lot of nasty crap as it is. Stuff I probably should never be saying. I don't want somebody else getting targeted. As much as I say stuff, guys, let me go and say this, I don't mean it. When I tell somebody to go do something bad to themselves, I don't actually mean for that. I don't mean that at all. I don't. So, just understand where I'm coming from, alright? I'm not trying to be mean to anybody, but at the same time, if I don't get all of that stuff out of my system, it'll be like a flipping it'll be like a volcano of boiling lava, where it'll all just come seeping up to the point where, like, it'll be like my head is the volcano's part where it erupts, where my head will almost like explode if I don't say something, and I'll flipping like just go mentally berserk. And the same thing would happen if I had to punish myself by doing something. That's why there's been a few times in videos where I've said, Trenton, if you do this, I'm going to make you not be able to say something nice to your Pokemon when you go through and be with them. You guys don't understand how bad that's going to bother me. My Pokemon sit there and do a good job, and then I can't say anything about it. Dude, I would about explode. But instead of exploding into anger and rage, I'd be probably getting to the point where my whole video would just be me crying because I felt bad. I can't say anything about Pokemon, and it just hurts me. That's why you constantly hear me say, I love you, sweetheart. I love you, my little buddy boy. Good job, Feraligatr. That's my boy, sweetheart. Stuff like that. So, yeah. Well, just understand it this way, guys. Actually, I did say this would be a video, but I'll make this a pre-series announcement because it's already been 10 minutes and I haven't got even started with a game yet. It won't be turning my face. Just understand it's a pre-series announcement. I had to figure out what to title it though. Just understand one thing real quickly, guys. I need to get my anger out. So if there's videos where I kind of rant to you guys about something that ticks me off, as long as I don't say anything about, I guess I don't, as long as I don't mention somebody, it works. But I don't know what to think anymore. Just understand, guys, that night I need to get my anger out. If I didn't, you would see a lot worse that same night. Like I said, guys, pulling that night didn't completely help me for like an hour. It took me taking my Pokemon for like 20-30 minutes and then going inside the Wyndon Stadium and seeing my Pokemon give me affection that got me to do it and kick butt. If I didn't see that, probably would still be seething that night. I still kind of was, but Pokemon helped me calm down at that very moment. I was more talkative and lovable towards my Pokemon instead of being constantly aggressive and mean towards them. Well, I wasn't aggressive towards them, but I wasn't being the nicest towards them either, even though I never say anything bad to them, but compared to how I usually want Pokemon, it's like nothing. So, yeah. Again, guys, just understand where I'm coming from. I just need you to understand where I'm coming from in that regard. So, yeah. That's all I gotta say. Next video will actually be the actual video at the start of the series. See you for the actual 1027th video. See you in a second. Excuse me. Please end this video now.